Sea Scouts and other things. I believe, if I'm right, like I say, with everything, you're gonna have to check my facts to make sure that it's actually valid. But Sea Scouts, I believe, is a Richard Nixon thing as well. I remember certain things like Sea Scouts and stuff like that, and so I think that was a JFK Richard Nixon little like group, like scout group or something like that. They were messing around and doing stuff. Um, I think I forget exactly what the details were. I think they were making runs or raids or something like that. There's a lot of different things that were happening back in the day, um, but later on they were getting some ships and stuff like that. Like I say, you'll have to talk to North Korea and talk to China. But as I know it, basically Sea Scouts was JFK, Richard Nixon, little scout group or whatever. But realistically, there's a lot of groups that are like scout group, and it's like they're actually like people that were doing raids and having guns and stuff like that and shooting people or something like that. But anyway, though, like I said, I don't know. I wasn't a Sea Scout, or whatever. Or anything like that. And had nothing to do with the Brotherhood. A bunch of like frat people was basically running around being stupid, stealing, taking things. I was Lucifer White Star Line Company and mining and shipping, and basically Titanic, Olympic, Birmingham, Warsaw, basically the Belfast shipyard, good Irishmen, good Germans, and basically, pretty much in world control. Anyway, though, along would come basically a bunch of young kids, basically trying to get away with stuff or something like that. Anyway, so I don't really know. I wasn't a Sea Scout, but I remember, and I think Sea Scouts basically eventually attacked Korea, maybe. I don't really know. Like I said, I don't know. I just remember certain things as far as like Richard Nixon, Sea Scouts, and certain talks or certain things that they said. So anyway, I don't know. Later on, they'd probably be claiming to be IRA or Irish or something like that. I don't really know. I don't care. Anyway, though, but yeah, so whatever. Basically, I had, a lot of these little groups were trying to buy my stuff, or, and realistically, they're trying to buy it so they could do bad things or whatever. So I don't really care. It's like, whatever, bunch of kids coming along. So anyway, you'll have to check it out, but I'm pretty sure Sea Scouts and Richard Nixon or JFK. So anyway, Sea Scouts, a bunch of people pretending to be something, but actually weren't. There's a lot of these little groups. They're like 3,000 people, 5,000 people. It's like prepare to be murdered. You have your tongue now. And it's like, and my Irishmen and my other people are looking down from the White Star Line ships, going, "What the fuck are they doing?" Oh, they're getting the tugboat to try and ram us. Hey, stop it! There was a lot of that going on back in the day. I hate to break it to you. It's like, they're getting a tugboat to try and ram us. What are they doing? What? The Titanic, a little tugboat. Sea Scouts! Yeah! It's like, hey, you! Down there in the little tugboat! What's your name? Scouts? Oh, yeah. Hey, stop ramming the ship! I hate to say it, I don't mean to look down on people, but, it's like, it was a little bit like that. We worked hard for our ships and stuff like that. We owned our ships. A bunch of Germans, a bunch of Irishmen, a bunch of other people, and here comes the Sea Scouts. What? Is that JFK? I think his name's Richard Nixon. Anyway, though, anyway, it was a little bit like that. Anyway, I don't really know. I have no concept. I have no idea. Like, there's a lot of things going on back then. A lot of people, doing this, doing that, and that's the truth of it. Is that there's a lot of people. A lot of these people, they would aspire for greatness, and well, anyway. So anyway, yeah, I mean, like I say, I don't know. Don't take my word for it. I have no idea. I just remember little bits and pieces like Sea Scouts, Richard Nixon, and other things like that. I don't know. I'm not a Sea Scout. I had nothing to do with the Sea Scouts. Nothing at all. Just like Bloods and the Crips. Uh, as far as I know, it was a bunch of crop workers, black maybe, that worked for me, and basically I don't know. Like there's all these groups I had nothing to do with. Absolutely nothing. Nothing to do with them. I'm White Star Lines and Belfast and a lot of other, that was me. So anyway, whatever. So anyway, who knows? Anyway, eventually they would grow up. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. 1920, 1930, there was a Richard Nixon, a bunch of people were trying to take down the big dog. It's like, we're the ones that feed ya. Oh well. Anyway, whatever. I don't know. I don't mean to say, but it's like, well, shrug. Stick it to the man. Whatever. Anyway, when a bunch of kids come along and tear them down, like Mr. Brown, it's like, at least I was epic. Anyway, a bunch of people doing insurance fraud or whatever, it's like, that doesn't really work. What do you want me to do? Mine you a whole new ship? Anyway, whatever. Anyway, I had my ships insured for the workers and for the people who had taken part and for the families that worked hard to build those ships. Like I said, I mean, a lot of those people, they could have been spending times with their children or with their wife, but instead they were going to work in my factories. I am a good man, and always was a good leader. I owned a mega monolithic company. I used it to buy and own America. A bunch of little children that would come along and eventually grow old to go rape and have sex with a bunch of other women and do whatever, that has nothing to do with me. Nothing at all. I wasn't in command. And technically the Sea Scouts were supposedly becoming the Harbor Patrol or the Coast Guard or something like that. Bunch of people that were being really annoying in 1920 and 1930 or whatever. But eventually would finally get old and have children of their own. Whatever. Like I said, what you choose to do with your existence is what you choose to do with your existence. I have nothing to do with it. Maybe at some point in time I would finally end up controlling the Sea Scouts. I don't know. Basically in the 1920s and 1930s, there's all these groups running around. They're paramilitary groups just doing raiding parties and stuff. Panty raids, raiding parties. Basically a bunch of people raping or killing or stealing or doing whatever. That was the basis of World War I, World War II, Vietnam, and all these other wars. Basically. So anyway, whatever. Your pathetic decisions as a 20-year-old man, or your pathetic decisions as a 20-year-old man. Your pathetic decisions as a 50 or 60 or 70-year-old man is your pathetic decisions as a 20 or 70-year-old man. You choose to see something and you choose to take it for yourself is what you choose to do. It was just something pretty to look at. The Maltese Falcon. I don't do with the Maltese Falcon. Bald-haired, suffering from radiation poisoning black guy. I don't have to shave anymore. And you don't have to worry about having kids neither. Like, you do realize a bunch of Germans were like, like there's a bunch of people who did understand about the universe and did know about all the universe, seeing all these idiots going on TV going, the Maltese fuck, I don't know where the Maltese fucking is. And he's all bald and it doesn't have eyebrows neither because they all fell out. Like, you know, and this guy thinks he's cool or thinks he's being funny or whatever. And it's like, well, it was radioactive, you see. Highly radioactive. There were 4 or 5 of them that were highly radioactive and very dangerous to be around. Oh well. Eventually they would start suffering radiation poisoning or something. Reach out and take it for yourself. Oh, I suppose the universe needed a joke or two. It's like, I don't care if they get the radioactive Maltese Falcon. What do I care? Just don't let it be no, don't open that here. Someone might see it. I was sending about messages and telling my people, stay away from the Maltese Falcon. It's radioactive and all kinds of stuff. Like, I mean, you too might get a laugh out of it eventually. And the people were saying, oh my god, oh my god. Yeah, well, hey, man, you were the stupid idiot that stole it and thought it was funny or whatever else, and then went on TV saying you didn't know where it was, so. Whatever. Like I say, you know, it's an existence, it's a life. You choose to do what you wish with it. But I guess the universe needed a joke or two.